get going. So, first thing on the agenda today, go ahead and get this review. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This is the sequel to Jurassic World that came out with the 2015.
I want to say 15, yeah.
Yeah. That was the year for the soft reboots because that's the same year that Star Wars came out and Creed. So it's like it's like they had all soft reboots that year. So anyway, Jurassic World was pretty much a soft reboot of Jurassic Park. It was supposed to be like basically a continuation of the story, but it didn't hit all the same beats as your original one. Wasn't as good to me. It was a serviceable movie, but you know what I'm saying? It was just all right. What you think about that Jurassic World? The first one.
It was all right. Like you said, it was basically a soft reboot of the first Jurassic Park. Hit a lot of the same notes. It remixed some stuff in certain ways, but by and large, you knew what you were getting in for. It wasn't anything too out of the box on that one.
And which the story and the premise was just stupid to me. It's like, if you want to keep this going, your best bet was to start the story over.
Yeah.
But to continue the story, we opened the park now and all that stuff, I'm looking like
even though this has never worked out in the past, we're going to try it again.
Not only that, you cannot continue the story after 2 because once the dinosaurs attack the city, that's it.
No more dinos. Yeah.
They're not gonna let you do no park. They're gonna kill these things. That's it. But anyway, they came out the park, they attacked the park, and then the park had I'm sorry, not the park. Well, it's kinda like what was the Jurassic World? That was a park, but it was kinda like
it's a theme park basically.
On an island.
/ sanctuary. I don't
something like
Safari, adventure deal.
That went to shit. And a lot of people died.
Yeah.
Did they ever address that in this new movie? How all the people died?
They talked. There was one line.
Okay.
About it, and they never talked about it again.
All right. So this brings Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. So we wonder what's going on now? Where are these dinosaurs at? Where are the people at that survived, and what happened after the end of this? Because at the end of the original, the people was getting taken off the island, and there's gonna be lawsuits. They had to go bankrupt.
Had to.
Okay.
There's no way that they survived this, man.
Okay, so this movie pick up the main character, Bryce Dallas Howard, which is Ron Howard's daughter, very attractive young lady. She was in charge of the Jurassic World park. And now her character is being summoned to the dude that's in charge of the whole thing to what they need to do? They need to
save the dinosaurs.
Right. This is the thing. It's a volcano. It's a volcano on the island, and the volcano's about to erupt. Problem solved. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no movie.
Let nature take care of itself.
Mother Nature said, I'm taking care of this shit because y'all fuck it up. I got this, right? So they said, hey, well, we're going to save one of every species. Was that the plan?
I think it was like 2 of every species, but...
All right. So they knew they couldn't get all the dinosaurs, but they was going to save one of every species. And so for some reason, they needed one specifically, which was... the raptor from the Jurassic World, Blue. Now they showed a lot of this in the trailer too, so you kind of piece that together. Yeah, how they do it, and this made Chris Pratt character and entice him to go back to the island, which I kind of liked his original response when they came to him with that. Nah, they said, "You gonna let him die?" Yeah.
It's like, all right, cut. We got a movie.
Yeah.
It was because he was the one guy saying, I mean, y'all know those dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think we can live on a planet with dinosaurs.
Well, the thing is, you made them. You gotta be responsible. It's like even though you might feel it's cruel, you created them. You got to put them down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they got the plan to go to the island to save one species of every dinosaur, but hey, just like the trailer told you, it was a lie.
I mean that I get pissed off whenever they give away the plot twist, even when it's like an early plot twist like this one, because it's like how much better can you make a movie by giving away a plot twist? You can't.
You know what? This has killed me. To me, it really wasn't a plot twist. It was just they did what they was there to do: get some dinosaurs off the island.
Yeah.
It was just it was a double cross moment, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, it's like only. By the way, we lied. We're not taking them to a sanctuary. We're selling them.
But that ain't even the when they double crossed them, that wasn't even
they could have
thing.
They could have gotten them off the island and then said, "Oh, by the way."
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like they did. It was pointless. It was pointless to do this whole little double cross thing. But I mean, that's if you want to go with the story. It was things in this movie that was done for the sake of having a fun movie that didn't make sense. Now, I'm trying to say stuff without spoiling it because a lot of stuff that happened is be directly spoilerish if you say this happened. But let's just say the movie took a direction where it was like, whatever.
But yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you what you think of the whole, which I actually enjoyed, but what you think of the special effects as far as the dinosaurs, them running from the dinosaurs? They gave you that.
I mean, the one thing I do enjoy about these last two movies is I don't feel like someone's running from a tennis ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel like there's some huge dangerous thing chasing them, around. And when they get snatched, I'm like, oh yeah, clearly he did.
They on point on the special effects, and they gave the audience some chills and some scares and stuff, but the storyline just so goofy and silly that it's like I'm just gonna I had to take myself out of the story and start enjoying just some of the action. You know what I'm saying?
Because every single action that people take facilitates the next scene, and not in an organic way. It's like, well, I needed this to be a thing, so clearly this thing had to go wrong.
Yeah, and okay, so they got characters in there that to me was like, oh god, it's like it's a cool character for the kids. You know what I'm talking about? The little nerd, the little the IT guy.
Yeah,
and he was so out of place, and I'm looking like I'm kind of rolling my eyes every time. Bug spray, anyway. It's like
especially because there are guys that have that skill set have that skill set for this kind of situation.
Well, I know, and I'm just saying that character was there just for a laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which he out of place, and every time everybody else, all the soldiers like cool doing their soldier stuff, he gonna say something goofy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And excuse me, and that kind of joke's been it's so cliched. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, this character don't feel real. You inserted him for a gag. You know what I'm saying? And
that gag got old quickly.
I know. It's so okay. They finally get the dinosaurs off the island, and this is where the story progressed from there. Now, that first half was enjoyable to me. The whole half when they running from the dinosaurs on the island.
Yeah.
Which, I don't want to spoil nothing, but goddamn, you cannot get that close to lava.
No. I do have to tell y'all, we were not sitting close to each other. We were on opposite sides of the theater, and all I could think about is, man, I know he got something to say about this.
Okay, I'm not an expert on volcanoes and lava and gases and all that. It's no way that lava can get this close to you and it not burn you.
Because it wasn't even like, jumping away, when it's a foot away. It's, what's that, about 3
literally
inches?
inches away where
inches.
you just scooting back.
Yeah.
No, man, go on with that shit. But okay. All right, we can suspend our disbelief.
Fine. Whatever.
For a gag. But Come on, y'all.
Like, and that wouldn't be a problem if the lava was over there.
Yeah,
but
they
it's
say
everywhere.
it's coming. Now it's right here, and let me turn this way. Dude, clothes would have caught on fire.
It's not like when you have a car running, try to outrun lava flow. That's fine.
Yeah.
And even then, the wheels then melt.
Right. I know.
The tires and wheels melt. You have a guy crawling away from lava.
Okay, yeah, and we're not gonna say specifically because I don't want to ruin it, but it's stuff that happened that was like, get the fuck out of here.
And I'm gonna be honest, there's a bunch of people that got way too close to some dinosaurs that should be super dead right now.
Hey, you know what? Your main character, the person who stole the movie, the main character that stole the movie was fucking T-Rex. They always give him an interest.
Her.
Every time something's about to happen or something's about to go wrong, who jump in and just steal the show?
Rex.
Mr. T-Rex.
Ms. rather.
He should get top billing.
She.
It should be like T-Rex and also starring Chris Pratt.
Let's have an interview with our star Rexy the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Rexy, how was it working with Chris Pratt?
That's cool.
I always thought he'd be good with barbecue sauce.
But no, it was a lot of unbelievable, silly stuff that happened, but it was fun enough. I just kind of feel like they made it fun for the kids, but it's so unbelievable. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The extent to which you have to, suspend your disbelief to really get into this movie is astounding. But once you do, I will say it is a fun ride.
Yeah, it can be fun, especially for the kids.
Especially for the kids.
Because they ain't tripping off the realism. Right. They tripping off having fun watching the dinosaurs.
And I think this could be a good move for them because it's like, once you render this world down to a fun ride, it becomes a lot less of a head shaker.
That's true. Because I went in after hearing about it. Now, if I thought it was going to be a serious movie, I would have been like, what the fuck? Yeah. But I had already heard that it was kind of ridiculous and just kind of go with it, So with that in mind, it made it a better experience for me, personally. Yeah. And so once they got off the island, the movie, it was already unbelievable, but it got even dumber with the things that they had that was happening. Well, let me ask you real quick. Once they made it a kind of a corporate thing or whatever. What did you think of that? Or what's his name? Culverton. I did not know he was that short. I knew he was short, but goddamn, he looked like he was the size of a child.
Yeah. I swear I thought he was at least a little taller than that. It took me a while to realize he wasn't using an accent of any kind.
Like, he had his American accent.
He had his American accent, rather. And, I don't know where this dude is from anymore. Because he has...
He's from UK, right? I mean, where he used to talk.
I assume so, but, I've heard him do German accents completely believably. Yeah. I've heard him do American accents completely believably.
Well, most of those British actors are real good with that.
But, I love the sliminess of his character.
Yeah.
Because he starts off with, you want to do what? That's not even a Tuesday.
It's like, $4 million ain't. That's a Tuesday.
But I'm talking about selling dinosaurs. I'm going to cancel my clients. What? Dude is that heartless. He ain't even going to sell dinosaurs unless there's money in it.
And I'm looking like, okay, I can see that being the plot of the movie where, okay, let's just... take what dinosaurs we got. Let's take what dinosaurs we can get and still sell them. And
I mean, there would be mad money in that if you could sell people dinosaurs.
It's not an unbelievable premise, but how all this stuff happened was just silly.
Yeah. It's like you have a Bond movie in the middle of a kid movie. If they made James Bond, but instead of James Bond, they sent the Spy Kids. That's kind of what this movie feels like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Okay. It was things that happened that made me say, "No way, you gotta do that." And I don't want to get specific, but a character did something where it's like, okay, you're gonna die if you do that, and they just did it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? What we think gonna happen? And I remember the whole audience gasped like, "Really, bro? Really, you gonna do that?"
Like, because everyone around me, when we tell y'all about the scene, we're gonna save this for the spoiler review, but I mean, no one was surprised. It's like everybody's like, "So you know what's about to happen?"
Yeah,
right?
I know. I mean, it's just like,
we all
fuck,
like
who gonna do that?
folks looking across the house like, "You get it right? Cool."
So, I mean, okay, let's talk about close to the end. All right, the stuff like what you saw in the trailer, and I feel like I ain't spoiling the whole blue team up. Get them, blue. Yeah. Shit like that. And I'm looking like, okay, all right. I did kind of like how they did more of an explanation of how the other Raptors like fuck him.
Yeah.
And then Blue is the one that actually showed more intelligence.
Yeah.
Empathy, and all that.
I mean, it also makes it a little more convenient that Charlie, Delta, and Echo are dead.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it answers the question: did that Raptor really give a fuck?
Right.
You know, because I just said shit. It was just, following orders for food. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was feeling like. Where this whole, Blue, Blue, my boy, you my boy, Blue. I was kind of like, I was kind of like, yeah, right, whatever. But they showed more on that. They kind of like, okay, I give you that.
I still think it's a little BS. Some of the stuff they had her doing in this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like, definitely.
Even after suspending my disbelief, I gotta say, how? Man, how?
Convenience,
right? It's like there's some great moments here where it's like, okay, I can see how that could do that, and then there's Blue.
Okay, so
Blue's a superhero.
I know they basically done that. So they kind of gave you the whole. I told you this movie would be great as a Saturday morning cartoon, because they gave you that whole dynamic. Hey, we badass fighters, and we got our pet dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? And that could be a good Saturday morning cartoon as you see the people fighting with the dinosaurs doing
the Jurassic
all the
Response Squad.
Something like that.
Faithful companion Blue the Raptor.
Exactly. But taken as a serious Hollywood movie, it's ridiculous.
Completely. Even with the characters, it's like, why would you ever be the person that's in this situation?
I know. And so we didn't talk about that the new dinosaur, which I ain't gonna say specifically, but you know how they made the new dinosaur on the first one. So you know it had to be another dinosaur that exceed all the expectations of the old dinosaur.
Yeah.
And it's like, not really, but it's cool. But what else can you do with that dinosaur?
Because like they didn't even show it having any of the abilities.
Right. It was kind of disappointing because you say we're gonna make a new dinosaur. It's gonna be even better than the other dinosaur. You know what I'm saying?
And so like it
was basically another raptor.
It was another raptor. And so like what they were trying to do was they were trying to show one that's like, it's not dangerous because it can do all of these things. It's dangerous because it's got a dangerous mind.
They added one element to it that I really like, and I don't want to just give it away, but it was a way to weaponize it specifically on things, which I thought that was actually a cool element, and that kind of make this story more plausible, saying that
it's like if you're gonna make something like this, you should have some kind of control mechanism.
Yeah, right. It's a way that that makes more sense if you can control these things or whatever. So I thought that was cool, but we can talk about real quickly some of the scenes at the end, such as, not the end, some of the scenes such as the dinosaur creeping in on a little girl.
Yeah. I still say after seeing the movie, we didn't need that scene.
And that's the thing. The little girl seems smart throughout the whole movie, right? Why you do something so out of character as to get in the bed and get in the bed under the sheets? It was a window you could have jumped out of. You could have went under the bed, but you just went and put the sheet over you while the dinosaur is making all noise right outside the room.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's not gonna see you through the sheet. You know what I'm saying? That's just
not only that, but like they end up making that scene so convoluted because they added steps that no character involved in that scene needed to take to get into that room.
I know. Trust me, I know it was a silly scene. It looked like the Little Red Riding Hood scene of Grandma, what big teeth you got. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was.
Yeah.
And I'm looking like, what are you doing here, man? You did not need that. That made it silly. That just made this silly. Things like that is where they just kind of went overboard.
I think that's one of the biggest failings of this movie is that it presents itself somewhat as an engine of self-facilitation. Like nothing is given in this movie. It's just, okay, so look here, see all this? This is how we're going to do this.
But I'm going to say, on the other hand, I might give it points for that because it seems like it knew this was such a silly premise that it just didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
Because when I look at this, none of this movie would be what really happened. Like people would not react in this way. True. You know what I'm saying? And none of this stuff would have happened. But if you say, okay, we self-aware of how silly this is, let's just go balls to the wall and do stupid shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And have fun. Enjoy the ride. I kind of see it as that. And that made me say, okay.
That's probably a safer way to approach making this kind of movie rather than saying, and it's a fate of the world and our hearts and souls are at stake and we've got to do the right thing for the...
But creeping up on a little girl in the room is unforgivable. That was just that's one I can't give them no points for, no matter how self-aware they are. And
I think one of the things they were trying to do, they were trying to make this dinosaur look willfully insidious.
Right, that was what they was doing. Oh my God, with the lightning and the flashing.
Yeah.
The shadow creeping up and stuff.
Like this,
come on, man.
Because they tried to make it so it's less a monster and more of a villain, and it's a weird switch to make on this kind of a movie.
Yeah, I mean it's cool, but I mean it just was it's real campy. But I mean, hey, if you self-aware, you want to make it campy, that's fine. But they had a twist. They had a twist in there, and I ain't gonna say what. How did you feel about that? Real quick.
I didn't like it. I'm just gonna say that. We'll tell you all about it in the next video, but I didn't like it.
Okay. I'm looking like, you know what I said when I first saw it? I was like, what? And why not? I swear to God, that's exactly what I was thinking. Because I'm looking like, well, this movie been stupid as shit since before then. Why am I even giving a fuck?
I mean, like I was looking at it like, no, you can't. You can't. Okay.
Right. It's like, already violated me. You might as well just keep going. No,
it's like, fine, whatever.
But no, I don't know. It was like, what for? But unless you do something with that, what is the point? Right. Maybe it's something leading to the next movie.
I mean, Jurassic World 3, I guess, confirmed.
Yeah, which, and we'll talk about this, the implications of that in the spoilers, because it is more to it where it's like, okay, this leads to a lot of other places.
and on that note, welcome to Jurassic World.
Okay, whatever.
Like really, y'all? That's how you gonna do it? After we sat through this movie.
Yeah, if you was waiting on Jeff Goldblum, nah, you ain't gonna get that much. So anyway,
you already got all the Jeff Goldblum you was gonna get out of the trailer.
All right, so man,
how much did he get paid for that?
He probably got paid a nice for that little cameo, but he probably just didn't even get dressed up for. He probably just had the top on. He probably had shorts on under that. Just like, let's do this scene. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up, man. I'm giving my rating, man. So this movie was quite ridiculous on its premise and in the believability of making a real movie. But I'm gonna say it had good parts in the what's suspense and action. They kind of set it up. I believe they wanted to set it up like a horror movie where they had that last dinosaur like a it's like a slasher movie. Like he's stalking his victim,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying. And some of those elements kind of work, but it was really silly. So it was between silly and somewhat exciting because of the action, and the special effects was on point.
Like we could even call this a family slasher.
Maybe, yeah, you can probably get away with that. And some of those special effects is on point, man. And I actually had a little fun with the first half of this. Second half, it was so ridiculous that I just kind of like forgot to take it serious and just kind of went with it.
Yeah.
And for that, forgive me for kind of preparing me for the ridiculousness of the ending of this. I gave it a little more points. So I'm gonna give this movie an all right. I had enough enjoyment out of this movie to not go to the hot garbage or our whack territory, because it was enjoyable enough. But a serious movie with a serious plot, no, it wasn't. But it was enjoyable, so I give it all right.
You know, I'm the one that always has the most trouble, you know, suspending their disbelief on stuff like this. But I will say, much like you said, that first half, like, I bought in on that, like, because it was just such a fun ride, that first half.
Mm.
You know, and then so once you get to the second half, it's mostly just, whatever. You know, like, you can't really get mad at it because you know what it is. They've already, you know, sold you on what it is. So you know it's going to be ridiculous. You know it's not something to take seriously. So because, like, the movie is so otherwise well made, you know, the special effects, you know, the set pieces are amazing, you know. And so I will say, I don't know if I can give this movie an all right. I will tell you it is delightfully whack. Like it's right at the edge there.
Okay. He gave it a high whack.
The highest of whacks.
All right. That's our rating. I gave it all right. He gave it a whack. It's worth a seat.
It's fun.
But don't take it serious, please. I'm giving you that warning. If you don't take it serious, you might enjoy it. But if you take it serious and looking for a serious movie with a serious plot, you're going to be pissed.
Just, you know, do it for the kids.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to jump into a quick spoiler discussion on that, because there's some things in there we had to talk about that. Wow. All right. So that's our review for Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.